We're no longer in Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama. Today we're on vacation in Florida, and we're not going to be talking about the Rocket Center. We're going to be talking about an exotic animal park called Wild Florida.
Come on, let's go learn and have some fun.
Yes, Brett and I normally talk about exciting things found at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in our hometown of Huntsville, Alabama.
But this week, we're on vacation in Orlando, Florida.
While here, we visited Wild Florida Airboat rides in Gator Park on the shore of Cypress Lake, about a 45-minute drive south of Orlando.
This was so much fun. We have never ridden on an airboat before.
Mom and Dad bought us the half-day adventure package. That package included a 1-hour airboat ride into the Florida Everglades, tickets to the Gator Park, lunch at the Chomp House Grill,
Yum!
a chance to get a photo with Fluffy, the alligator.
Fluffy was so cute and friendly.
Fluffy is about 3 years old. He is a trained gator who is used to being held by humans. If you see a young gator out in the wild, please don't pick it up and take pictures with it.
Then we each got a bag of alligator food to feed the alligators.
The gator food was about the size of a small hot dog, and the park employee said it was filled with nutrients. They said it was the alligator equivalent to dog food.
We fed ducks and fish like this before, but never anything that had that many teeth. People have 32 teeth in their mouths. Alligators have nearly 80.
These alligators are teenagers and aren't big enough to swim with the big boys yet. Speaking of big boys, this is Crusher, and he is 13 feet long and weighs over 500 pounds. There were also a couple of albino alligators.
But Wild Florida had a lot more than just gators.
They had many exotic birds.
They had deer.
We even got to feed this young buck.
Do you have any more, Brett? Look, Brett. There's a little tongue. Oh, it's rolling.
We saw zebras.
One of our favorites was Nala. Nala is an endangered Florida panther. She is 3 years old and weighs about 70 pounds.
She was really pretty.
Before we had seen all the animals, it was already time for our airboat ride.
The fan of the airboat was really loud, so they gave us headphones to protect our ears.
Our guide took us out for an adventure on Lake Cypress.
We saw a bald eagle. We also saw a couple of wild alligators.
Our guide told us that when you see just a gator's eyes and nose sticking out of the water like this, that you could use it to measure the gator. Every inch between the nose and the eyes equals a foot in body length.
This guy's probably 10 to 11 feet long. We got to see an alligator nest.
The mama gator goes around in a circle, scratching with her claws, pulling everything to the middle to build that mound. She buries her eggs in the mound, and the vegetation and sun create heat to incubate the eggs. The gender of the baby is determined by the heat. Cooler eggs become girls, and warmer eggs become boys. Since heat rises, all the eggs on the bottom of the nest will be girls, and all the eggs near the top will be the boys. After our airboat ride, we headed back to the park for a very informative and entertaining exotic animal show.
And some hints for anybody that's curious out there. Our first animal is covered in scales. He has a big old tail, and his name is Mr. Blue. Everybody say, hello, Mr. Blue! Hi, guys! This is Mr. Blue! Now, Mr. Blue is a blue-tongued skink, an exotic reptile, a cold-blooded reptile found in Australia. I told you he's real, too. Now that he's got his self taken care of there, has a mark to each side, I'm going to invite you to pet down his back. Now the reason for this is there's a big misconception that lizards, reptiles, or skinks are hard and rough and bumpy, but when you pet him, you notice he's very soft and smooth. And that is thanks, there you go, nice. And now that you guys are realizing he's not bumpy, rough, or crazy, he's just a cool little reptile, and again an exotic reptile, I want to get to the questions that we brought up in the beginning of the show. So question one, looking at this guy, do you think Mr. Blue is done growing, yes or no? No. Okay, mixed answers, which is fine. This is the thing. He can get a teeny bit longer, and like anybody here, get a little bit heavier, but this is generally just about as big as they'll get. No Komodo dragons running around your house. Question number two is, what does he eat? The easy answer is everything. You see in the wild, he doesn't get food brought to him. He has to find his food. So whether it's bugs, plant matter, fruits, even other lizards, he's going to eat whatever he can find. And that's because this animal might be dangerous for you guys to pet or get hands-on with, and that's because this next one is poisonous to the touch. Yes. Here we have Bufo the cane toad. Now he is an exotic little amphibian, and these guys are found down in South America originally. Now, in recent decades, the cane toad has become a global epidemic as an invasive species. Put in simple words, this toad lives all over the world where he shouldn't live, and he ruins ecosystems because he's so good at surviving. Now, as I walk closer, again, you can't touch him, but I'll point out why you can't touch him, and that's because right behind the eye, what looks like another bump in his skin, that is a whole separate gland, and that is the gland that will secrete the bufotoxin, or the poison. Now, let's say for some reason, some came out, well, this is red! Yeah, right? And yes, I know, Red's a snake, right? She's not a turtle. But Red here is not a venomous snake. This is a boa constrictor. One way to tell the snake is not venomous is that I'm holding the snake. But in reality, my friends, this is number 2 most popular exotic pet snake in the trade. And of course, they don't start off this big. When you find them in the pet shop, they're about this long and about this big around. But let's talk about where the snake comes from. This is an arboreal ball from down in South America. That means they hang out in lower hanging trees and wait for their food to go right by. And that's question 1. What does the snake eat? It eats smaller mammals and birds, not people. It'll grab onto, let's say, a bird or a rat, wrap around, squeeze, and swallow it whole. Now, I know what you might be thinking for some reason, it's going to squeeze that guy, wrap around his neck and eat him. Well, it's not going to happen because I'm way too big for the snake to ever think of as a prey item. Honestly, through all the handling, the snake thinks of us as like big, heated trees to play on. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, any snake in the wild that's approached is going to strike at defense. Again, we're predators to a little tiny snake on the ground or on a branch, so never go grabbing a wild boa if you're in South America. But just know, they're not aggressive. They're very curious, amazing reptiles. That being said, I'll invite everybody to pet. Not really cold. She's around in the middle. She gathers her body heat from her surroundings. Whether back to the question to learn some more. So this is for everybody. Looking at the snake, do you think that Boa's done growing? Yes or no? Yeah. No, you guys got it now. She's not done growing. Right now she's around 8 feet long. Fully grown, the snake will be 12 feet and 60 pounds. Third question, last one. How long will she live? 30 years. So that means if you got a snake when you're 10, you'd have it till you're 40, which is my last lesson. So many irresponsible people get these snakes as pets and then release them because they find out they get big and they live a long time, which is terrible for the snake. Let me see. I'll just ask you guys, do you want to see an animal that is cute? Yeah! All right, get ready. That's a bad joke, I know. But for real, get ready. I'm actually going to ask you 2 questions. Do you want to see an animal that is cute? Or do you want to see an animal that is fluffy? Okay, you ready? Do you see the animal? No? Alright, let me charge in the sun. Let me part the seas real quick. This is a solar-powered animal. You'll understand in a second. Alright. Do you see the animal now? It worked! It charged in the sun. Now, no, this is not an exotic pet. First things first, actually. Alligators are not pets. They're legal as a pet. Second, it's not exotic to me. I'm born and raised in Florida my whole life, but if you're not from here, they're definitely exotic to you. And if you're not from around here, you gotta know how to spot them out. And also, alligators aren't aggressive reptiles. Only time they approach people is if they've been fed by people or somebody's messing around their nest. In fact, they survive for so long just because they're hiding abilities. And in the state of Florida right now, we have 2 million wild alligators. So that means if there's water, there's probably a gator. They get it. So as I walk around, I'm going to point out some tools. You guys can look as I walk by. Their nostrils are the first thing to pop up above the surface. Now they use them like a snorkel. You see the alligator sticks his nose up, smells for danger. If they smell a person, they can seal them up, go underwater, hold their breath for 2 hours. Next to pop up, not the back, not the tail, it's the eyeballs right up here, just the tippy little eyeballs. They have amazing vision on each side of their skull, only blind spot is right in front. The last thing to pop up, or right here, I'll show everybody, this is an alligator's ear. Not many people get to see that, but that's because just like their eyes and nose are adapted, so are their ears. There's a muscle and cartilage flap. Now they open and close them on their own, and that's because they're always communicating. They grunt, bellow, hiss. Gators and crocodiles make over 20 vocalizations. It's really amazing how much they're talking to each other. And we've actually found out while in Florida that you guys can mimic or make the sound that a baby alligator makes. Now the question is, do you guys want to hear what a baby alligator sounds like? Okay, I'm going to try. That everybody has to try so I don't sound so crazy. So imagine yourself now in the wild of Florida and you're listening for a little 6-inch baby gator. If you listen now, I can hear one. They go, Mama. Okay, that was the joke. For real though, this time. This they go, ow, 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 ow. You guys try it. Ow, ow. Okay, you all pass for baby gators now. Last thing I want to bring up, of course, never feed a wild gator. That's terrible for them and illegal. Second though, please never touch or approach any gator no matter the size. It's dangerous for you and for them. Quick example, you're walking around your hotel pool or your house, you hear that baby, you pick that little baby gator up for a picture, guess who's right around that corner? Mom, yes, and Mom is 10 feet long. She's grabbing her children. Only time, again, gators chase people if they've been fed by humans or if humans mess with their young. In fact, Mama sticks around for 1 to 3 years to guard them. Now, if the little ones don't leave the nest, after year number 3, the mother will eat her own babies. Yes. So kids, when you grow up, move out, your parents are going to eat you guys. But to get to reality, my friends, alligators are truly amazing reptiles. If you see one on that boat, you're lucky. Just take a picture, appreciate the moment, give them distance and respect, do the same thing with you. That is the end of the show. Make some noise for Fluffy the alligator.
He was very funny, and he taught us a lot.
We got to pet a skunk.
It didn't stink.
This skunk, like many of the other animals at the park, is a rescue. People get exotic pets, then can't handle them. Only the lucky ones end up at a park like Wild Florida.
It is hot in Florida during the summertime.
To cool down, we got some swamp juice. It was a passion fruit flavored slushie, and it was so good. You could also get it with ice cream.
After we were there for 5 hours, we had to leave. And we haven't even seen everything yet.
Right. There are many animals at Wild Florida that are on display, but we didn't get to see them. Also, they're currently building and expanding the park.
I guess we just have to go back sometime.
I sure hope so. Wild Florida was a lot of fun, and it was cool being around animals that we rarely see in the Rocket City. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something, and we hope you had a blast!